It took a long time to figure out what was causing my problem, but I was prescribed Tegretol or carbamazepine, and that helped me considerably. Recently, I have tried to titrate down off of the carbamazepine because I have noticed that I am not as sharp conversationally, that my memory has fallen off somewhat, and of course that has to do with age. I know that. I am 78. However, you don't either sound like a... Thank you. I appreciate that. But here's my question. There is a surgery that they can do. It's a small hole near the back of the ear, the mastoid bone, near there, where they put a pad between the trigeminal nerve and the blood vessel that might be coursing against it. Do you have any advice for me? Go ahead. Okay.
Oh, come on. That's where I find Instagram here. And we're live. Okay, let's see.
4 for 4.
Hard to like it more.
Boom.
Oh.
Oh, Rumble.
Okay. Let's post that up. Sorry, we're doing our pre-show prep here. But if you have questions or answers, we got a couple of brain teasers we're going to be throwing at y'all.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
For your infotainment pleasure, folks, we are going to be all over the place today. Going to have a lot of fun.
Oh, so they can already hear us.
Yeah, they can already hear us. We are live online.
Instagram. Picture.
There we go. Let's post that. All right. I don't know if you guys already see it, but we do have our special guest in tonight, Mr. Rick Travis of the CRPA. Our man of our second segment is going to be with us all 2 power-packed hours, ladies and gentlemen. So start it off. Go ahead and get your questions, your comments, your thank yous to the good man here, and we'll get everything rolling. Let's see.
I think we're putting smile. All right. Sound turned off. Let me see.
Evening, Ricky. Evening, Eric. Good to see you. See if I can start pulling this stuff.
Those of you who have asked about Jeff will be making a lot more general announcement when the show gets started.
Yes.
But you guys are very cool guys and gals are very cool for asking. And
hey, yeah, Hendo, it is Rick. He is here. He said Jeff got a facelift. Oh, wow. It's Rick. Sure is, friend. Sure is. Super special guest tonight. So we've got about... We got a good time. We still got some time. I think it's going to start about 7:04.
So we do have minutes. So if I go to the Facebook here, there we go.
Live. Hey, Fred, Bob. Evening, friends. Let's go. Good times, good times. Let's pop out this chat. I don't need to watch myself. Kirk, good to see you, sir. Old Bark, good to see you. Mr. Travis and hi, Rev, Jimmy and Mark. Thank you so much, Old Bark. Good to see you, sister. I'm telling you, you are the fourth man of this show, Rick. You are part of this family, whether you like it or not.
It's the fourth man, yeah, which he doesn't have a counting problem, ladies and gentlemen. One of us is sitting home, slacking off.
Yep.
Oh man. Do 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 do.
Nothing could be further from the truth.
Nothing could be more father. There we go. There we go.
Man, one of us looks really, really good. Jimmy, we got to start up on our game a little bit.
No, man.
Start wearing logo clothing or something.
Look at that. What I need to do is that I put a tear in my CRPA sweater, so I have not been wearing it as much because it's right in the
That's
R.
because you
I
overwore
will
it,
get you one.
Yes.
and that's because you keep flexing. When you flex out,
So just send me your address, and I will get you one.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, super.
do you
I
act
love
like
wearing
know people? Is that what's going
I
on
know
here?
people.
I can make things happen.
What's great, because I do a lot of volunteer work at all the schools that my boys go to, and got the show promoted, got CRPA promoted this week, and they were like, oh, yeah, I'm actually a member already. And another guy's like, wait, what is that? And so twisting the ear here and there. I love it.
There we are. Gunslinger's Pro. Oh, that's not us. Why do I keep hearing coyotes?
Let the coyotes take me away. All right. Hey, Dave, good to see you, bud. Mad Dog's in. Good to see you. Good to see you. Kirk's like, hey, Rick from Long Beach CRPA. He's from the CRPA. Mention Jim Bowie and his GoFundMe.
Ooh, that's a nice thing to do. Jim Bowie is the kind of the architect of action jobs, short strokes, and things like that for cowboy action shooting. He's getting along a little bit, and he's the guy that got the whole ball rolling. And he's a really, really good guy, and he's having little health challenges. So
Well, let us do that. Let us raise up our friends.
there's not a better guy.
Of the 2A of
So where's the camera that's focused on me?
yours?
Oh, you don't have one.
Okay.
I think it would be.
You got 1, 2 und 3.
It is this
I hope you parted your hair evenly. He's got one right behind you.
The camera's following me around.
It's a bit delayed.
It is. Yeah, it's all on all the streams. It'll be a little. Hey, Mom, how's Dad doing? How's Jeff doing? Got Kathy on there. I heard we're gonna be hearing from him tonight, so I'm really glad. Big Jake. Good to see you, Craig. Yes, at 7:30. I'll be looking for him. You got it. We got about. Oh, that's us.
There we go.
We are on. Good evening, friends and family out there. Welcome to the Gunslinger Syndicated Radio Network. Folks, we've got a packed show tonight, so I want to...
Packed show and a packed house.
Packed show, packed house. We are still missing one. We're going to give updates on the gunslinger himself, Jeff. But we do have... I actually want to start off mentioning Jeff. I'm going to settle down just for a moment. Going to do a quick prayer for our friend and his healing. Dear Lord, as we are gathered here, our friends and family all over the radio, all over the internet, we want to send our prayers of strength, patience, and healing for our good friend Jeff. through his ordeal and his surgery, and that you bring down your grace upon him for his healing and his patience and strength for him and his family at this time. And we just wish for him to be better and be strengthened by your will and by your grace, dear Lord. And in the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
But you mentioned patience on his part. Did you mention patience for his family too?
Oh,
Because
throughout.
I know that young man well enough to know that he is probably not sitting quietly. He's got to be frittering and tossing and turning and get me out of here! Get me out of here! Let me out!
You know him. He's already trying to walk out of that hospital as we speak right now. He's trying to crawl back to the studio as we're going. But on top of that, filling in another seat this evening, we have our honorable, esteemed guest, Rick Travis of the CRPA. Welcome, Rick.
Thank you for having me. I'm honored to be here.
Look at that. The
Live
voice
in studio, here with us, the man, the myth, the legend.
sounding pretty crisp over the mic and not over the phone. But ladies and gentlemen, we have him here. We're going to be picking his brain all day, all night. And we're going to be waiting for your questions, your comments, and we hope to hear from you. The number here is, you know what? Let's open it up with our fifth
Our good
man.
friend, by the way, who's going to be here next week.
Next week, the Motorman, can you send us the number? Oh, I don't know if we have it up.
Well,
no.
Coming. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
1-866-870-5752. Again,
It's okay.
866-870-5752.
We'll get him on the
We'll get
next
him.
one. We'll get him on the next one. Yeah. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are here and we are live. You can find us all over the internet right now. If you're not listening on your radio and you wanted to see what Rick looks like in real life, you guys can find us on YouTube, X, Rumble, and Facebook Live. Just look up Gunslinger Auctions or Gunslinger Radio and jump on in. Get in the comments. We are all over them. Everyone's already, we have all our friends, Richard Blythe, got Thomas, got Big Med, got him all over the place, Kirk and Bass. Thank you guys. You guys keep going, and we're going to be looking over all the questions, especially what you have for Rick. Everyone's already pouring a lot of love for Rick in there.
I want to do a spoiler alert, though, for all those of you people who may just be listening and you aren't watching us on one of our live social media feeds. He's even taller and better looking than he sounds.
Man, it's you do
Guys
not
are
lie,
too
sir.
much.
You do not lie. But you know, while we are rolling along, because I'm sure we have a lot to say tonight, I want to jump in with Richard from the airport, from Whiteman. Hey, Richard, what's going on this evening?
Good evening, you crackerjack gunslingers.
Yeah, you always find a prize. Let's go. How you doing? How you doing, Richard?
Fine, I got a question about shotgun shells. How do you know when you can no longer reload them? How many times? How do you know when they're worn out?
That is a really, really good question.
Fun
Okay,
question.
most modern shot shells are made out of a plastic composite material. They will not reload as often as the bronze or brass shells
Yes.
that you fire most center fire cartridges with. As a consequence of this, you get 2 or 3 out of them. They'll start splitting on you. They will no longer hold a crimp. They'll let you know. But 2 or 3 is about it.
Yeah.
And depending on the importance of the event at which you are shooting, you'll be well advised not to use them more than once if it's a really important event.
Absolutely.
I hope that helps.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because one of the big things is that a lot of your shotgun shells are a bit shorter and not as composite as say, because you have those plastic tops and all that. They do wear and tear a bit more. But yeah, the longevity of life in them are much shorter. You can't just tumble them and make them shiny again and get them back out there. All right, Richard, does that help you out?
That's it. That'll do it.
Wonderful. Got a joke for us tonight?
Yeah, Halloween's coming, and they arrested a ghost and put him in jail, but they had to let him out. You know why?
Why?
Arrested at Jostin.
They couldn't pin anything on him.
Those sheets are pretty transparent. Let's be a little transparent.
That's Richard.
Thank you, Richard. God bless you. You know, before we get to the break, I'm going to try to get to one more call before we go. So thank you so much, Richard. God bless you.
And have a happy Halloween. See ya.
Yeah, thank you so much. You know what? Before we get to the break, let's get to Mark. He's got
That's a
Woodland.
fine, strong name.
It's a popular one, too. Hey, Mark, what's going on tonight?
Hey, what a treat. We got him in the house.
In-house. Look at
It is
that.
indeed.
How you doing, brother?
And I really appreciate your taking the questions, online questions occasionally. really helps a lot. And I'd like your opinion. We always look at what's happening in other states, but I'd like to direct your attention to the north in the People's Republic of Canada, and the government just outlawed in May the M1 carbine, even to shoot it. But they did give you 3 options to their subjects there. Number 1, turn it in for destruction. Number 2, pay a gunsmith to permanently deactivate it or go to jail for 10 years. And all I can suggest, folks, is everyone you know and don't know, tell them do not vote no on Prop 50 unless you want a government takeover like they have in China, digital currencies tied to credit, social credit skills and stuff like that. I just hope we don't go down the path of Canada. Even Australia outlawed, as we covered before, machetes of all things. And I don't know what's going on with the Anglo.
Well,
phonics.
When violence doesn't stop, this is the problem, of course, with blame being the implement and not the user. When you outlaw firearms and curiously enough, violence doesn't stop. So then you're at a loss to explain. So then you have to outlaw machetes, and then knives, and then forks, and then pointy sticks, and then rocks.
And then shoes and socks, right? And then all of a sudden you're wearing what they want, and you're doing everything by their tell.
We are so fortunate that here in the United States we have this thing called the Constitution, and appended to the Constitution is, of course, the Bill of Rights, and in the Bill of Rights is our Second Amendment. They don't have those things, and you see how it goes. And as Jeff is fond of saying, if you don't mind me adding this to it, as Jeff is fond of saying, look at the way they treat us with an armed society. Imagine what they would do if we weren't.
Yep.
Just look at Canada or England.
Yeah. And Mark, you always have great
takes, man.
Great and questions for Rick. I get a lot of my questions that want to get prompted up from Mark over there online. He's on a couple different streams, so I appreciate you, Mark.
Okay, Bubba. Thank you, sir. Rick, you're doing God's work, brother.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mark. You have a good night. God bless you.
Man, a couple of good calls to start the evening.
Oh, yeah, and we want to start them off. We want you guys to keep calling. Hey, I think we have it up now. Let's go ahead and get Leon to join in.
That number is 866-870-5752. Right. Again, 866-870-5752.
All right, and then in the second segment, we're going to jump back in with Rick. He's going to give us his history, what's going on, what he's doing with the CRPA. Give us a little background before we jump into things he's fighting, the things that are standing in his way, and how we can help knock them down, folks. You are listening to the Gunslinger Syndicated Radio Network, and we're going to be right back.
Great places to go, all great places to go. But as a consequence, he's been out of touch with what's going on the radio show. And it occurs to me, for anybody who's listening in, for us, this is an ongoing dialogue, but there are a lot of people who may not know. So I think we might want to take a second.
Okay. Well, yeah, we'll touch on that. And
Ooh, you're getting a lot of love online here, Rick. Well, that's so close to in tune.
Seems just for the band. All right, folks, welcome back to the Gunslinger Syndicated Radio Network. Real quick, I want to give an update on Jeff, on what's going on. Successful surgery for his heart. He is recouping right now, so we started out this hour with a prayer and all that, so keep them going, folks. Send your good well wishes to him. Hopefully he'll be discharged by the end of this week. Continue. He is resting. He is strengthening, and just keep praying for him and his family right now.
Given the circumstances, everything is going as well as it possibly can, and we just want to keep it that way.
Absolutely. Okay? But so let's jump back into the show. Keep his ship afloat, as we like to say here. So, ladies and gentlemen, we do have Rick Travis of the CRPA, who's been on our show every week, giving us updates
for years.
For
literally years.
Literally years, every week for literal years. So you get to hear him, and if you're watching online, you finally get to see him live. And we're just gonna open up, see how he is doing over the CRPA, give a little history on all of that, give a little history to the folks that don't know. Maybe you're a new listener and don't know how much they do for us here in California, and not only California, but this nation. Rick?
Yeah, so thank you for letting me come here and be in the same room with you guys. I'm honored.
It's cool.
Like you have not given up enough of your time for the people of California. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah. No, it's my pleasure. So CRPA started 150 years ago. I'm wearing the 150th anniversary shirt tonight for you guys.
Nice shirt.
And thank you. And we started, ironically, at a time where California was ruled by Democrats, Democratic governor, complete Democratic Senate and Assembly. Back in 1875, they'd outlawed hunting, and the majority of Californians did not have access to a firearm. So we've been in a really bad place before as a state. And
started on the back foot.
Yeah, and what happened was, and this is the part that's going to be really weird for people, but it was the mayor of Oakland, the mayor of San Francisco, and the head of the California, what today would be the National Guard, who came together and said, well, California, as you guys know, didn't have major battles in the Civil War. Californians in the Civil War didn't do well in the battles that they were in because they just didn't have the firearms experience.
Yeah.
And so there had been a New York Rifle and Pistol Association had been started up, and they said, hey, let's put together a team and start our own association, and we'll go have a competition. And that little group in New York would become the NRA. And we were the first ones to go compete against them, actually beat them in the first time. Didn't for a long time after that, but we did in our first time. And from there, the CRPA, at that time was called the California Rifle Association, and it fought for years to make sure people had training. Just amazing things. I know you guys love to talk about history, but like one of their very first public shoots had people of all backgrounds. You know, California had Chinese people that were working on the railroads. They had a lot of Latinos, obviously, because this had been part of Mexico. There were some Russians that were still left over from Monterey area. They had all these people, all these backgrounds, and they had 5,000 people shoot.
5,000. That's a good number.
Yeah, and that's a good number a day. And they actually shot in what today is Golden Gate Park, which I think is like...
This is so ironic.
Yeah,
yes.
So ironic. So it's like lots changed since then, obviously. But then in 1922, we had just had the war to end all wars. Mm-hmm. And the federal government, through the civilian marksmanship program, started selling off 1911s for like $1.25. It was like a ridiculous price.
Oh, man.
And they were delivered by the mailman and just left on your front door.
How things have changed.
Yes. And as a result, a lot of people wanted to start target shooting pistols. And so that's when we added the word pistol and pistol association to it. And we've always been fighting for Second Amendment rights, your rights to hunt, your rights to competitively shoot, and to advance new ideas in the sport. And so I started working with them almost 15 years ago.
Wow.
And have done a lot of the different positions in there, but I'm very happy to be the legislative director, a.k.a. lobbyist, and fighting for all 39 million Californians' rights to maintain their Second Amendment rights.
Whoa. I mean, 15 years is a long time, but how you've really progressed and what you're doing now, it says so much about what the CRPA can do for all of California. But how ironic is that the places where these two biggest pro Second Amendment activist groups started out are in some of the most worst states in all of the U.S. to own a firearm. How they pretty much handcuff you literally and figuratively.
Yeah, but one of the things I try to get out to people is, a lot of people today say, why do I have to fight for my rights? And I look at them and say, if you go back, this is the 250th anniversary of the country, we were all British citizens, and we put up with taxes. I mean, I find it ironic that George Washington himself said if taxes were more than 3%, you should revolt.
Right?
Yikes.
Yeah.
We're well past that, multiple fold. But it wasn't until they came for our firearms that we took up arms against our own government to say, no, you can't take our firearms and ammunition. And I really think George Mason was right that, like, what changed us from being British citizens to Americans was defending our rights. And so I look at all the stuff I face in the Capitol is I am doing what made us Americans, and that is fighting for our right to have a firearm and to protect our family and put food on the table, et cetera, because that's what made us Americans.
Can you take a second and explain the importance of George Mason to this conversation?
Yeah. George Mason, along with one of my favorite presidents, Little Monroe, were the guys who helped frame what we call the original Bill of Rights, which started off with 200. A lot of people don't realize there were 200 submissions for the rights. And the first one is what is today the First and Second Amendment, but it was all
Combined.
one. And that's why
That's important.
Yeah, and that's why I tell people all the time, the word shall not be infringed was the end of the bookend of your God-given rights, which are those encased in the first, and the second was the way to defend it from a tyrannical government.
Okay, so George Mason is substantially the father of the Bill of Rights.
And you know what? I bring up that point that they were originally the first together,
Right.
And people are it's kind of an eye-opening kind of revelation that those things work hand in hand to protect the one, and the one is the most important. But
Right.
that, if you look at them together, they are the most
And
important.
that's why the far left wants to eliminate the Second Amendment, because then they can destroy the rights of the first. And we just have to look to the pandemic to see how they tried to do it.
Yep.
Authoritarian states hate competition, and one of the first things they always go after, whether it is the sword laws, the
Knife
samurai
laws.
laws, they always go after whatever the weaponry is. So they have that all-important thing, which is a monopoly on force.
Yeah, and you can look at England. England went after the firearms, then they went after the knives, and they went after like everything. It just never stops.
And looking at them at this very moment, they are in an uproar of violence, of a lot of
Oh wait, removing weapons didn't lower
Didn't stop
violence?
violence.
What?
Again,
No.
when you blame the implement instead of the individual.
Yeah, looking at them now and why we fought so hard to keep our firearms, so the slippery slope of where they're at now doesn't happen here.
Right.
And
And we're not Canada, where you have police authorities telling you, okay, just hang your keys just inside the door where thieves can get at them, because all they want is your car.
all they want is your car.
Yeah.
But
'Cause that's
I
what
want
bad
my
guys
car
do.
too. That's the
I paid for
problem,
my car.
right?
Yeah.
If you're going to give everything for free, I should be getting it for free too. Then,
And,
right?
and as long as I'm in here, that's a nice stereo and a nice 16-year-old daughter, whatever. Come on,
Yeah,
guys.
and-
That's what happens without the Second Amendment.
Yeah. So the history of it, what made us Americans, is fighting for those rights,
Yeah.
folks. That is the basis of America, fighting for your, like you said, our God-given rights. I've mentioned this probably once or twice before, but this Constitution, this Bill of Rights, only works for a God-fearing, God-acknowledging public. And once we start taking all those things away, all of it fails, because that's where anarchy, that's where chaos survive. So us fighting for these actual laws, bills, and rights that we have is actually, as much as they like to say our diversity and all this is what makes America great. No, these things that are written for this country are what make us great. So but I mean, the basis of what you've built your this career with the CRP on is America at base.
Right.
So
We certainly are a
absolutely.
truculent and contentious lot, aren't we?
Yes, we
I say
are.
that with just the right amount of pride. We should be. Do not accept your government at face value. Always remember, never forget, ladies and gentlemen, all politics revolves around this one simple, politics in this country revolves around this one simple premise, and that is those bums work for you.
Absolutely. And because this is a fun with guns show and all that, these rights of our self-protection, they've evolved into our, like you said, there were the hunting. There weren't many hunters here previously.
Oh, you look at all the fun things people do. I mean, California does not get the credit back. I mean, you look at SAS that you and Jeff love to do.
Yep.
Seth started in Orange County, and then moved out to, Rahagas, and then went from there.
And I go to Europe almost every year to do it. That's how popular it's become. It's huge in Australia.
Up in Slow, they started off this thing that a couple of my coworkers started laughing at. I said, there were people in Coda de Cause at one time laughed at people showing up dressed as cowboys. So I wouldn't laugh so hard. But, they've got a group of people that have recreated Miami Vice and shoot from cigarette boats that are up on trailers and do the whole thing. And I've seen other groups in the state that do the Magnum PI kind of a thing and show up and dress up and do it. And I think that's really cool. The kids that go out and are competing at the high school level and now making it a sport to ride horses and shoot the balloons and things there are so many fascinating activities that people do.
All good, fun, healthy outdoor stuff.
And on that point, like you see them and they start building these communities around. I've seen stuff that after some of the video game stuff that they had, the Red Dead Redemption had a big one that they had for cowboy action shooting. But I seen them like some of the, because they come out with a lot of new military stuff, and that's how a lot of these kids get introduced.
Or zombie shoots that they do this time of the year at some of the different ranges, which are just absolutely hilarious and fun.
And that's what that is. This is a community that, one of the ways we practice our right is by training in these fun and different ways. And it's a huge community, and it can incorporate so many different types of people. This right is for all patriots of every shape, shade, and gender. So this is how we build, and we have in
building
inclusion.
is an important part of that. I want to throw something out. If you've ever had a chance to interact with any of the young people in the shooting sports, almost without exception, they're so polite, so well behaved, so well mannered. And they're the antithesis of what is portrayed by people who have no familiarity with what they're talking about. These are kids you want to be around.
That's so true.
Absolutely. And to have our youth learn proper etiquette with firearms, to educate them, and that's one thing we've touched on a lot. They've tried to eliminate education in the proper ways, and especially in the state now in this country. How we can really incorporate and teach the youth properly, it's going to speak for generations. We're going to keep jumping on this. We're going to have a special call-in guest in the next half hour.
Looking forward to that. But in the meantime, because we always ask this question at the end of your segment, because it's your segment. No, this is going to be an easy one for you. How do people get a hold of the California Rifle and Pistol Association?
CRPA.org. And if they have questions, contact at CRPA.org.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be taking more calls at 866-870-5752. But we're going to go into a little longer break, and we'll have a special guest on the phone to chat it up with someone you'll really know.
Right here on the
Gunslinger
Syndicated Radio Network.
Yeah, baby. Let's come on.
So I always say afterwards.
You can toss it in as many times as you like. I am not going to be deterred. Every phone call, I end it just like that.
Hey, yo, Jim. Mark wants to know about the removal of firearms via red flags. Oh, okay. That's a fair question.
And actually, Jeff is watching us right now, too. So
he's making comments.
Well, yeah, he's over there on Cat's.
He's jealous of your shirt, man.
Yeah. So he should be calling in right now. I've spent decades at Rahagi's from 70s to 2025. Love seeing the youth out there. Of course. Yeah. Of course. I'm going through it right now with my eldest, 15. So it's more gun safety and automobile safety right now. So it's a fun little thing. And, he had a competition, trombonist with the marching band. And they had a slice of that humble pie this weekend, seeing that there's levels to it, and it's good for them to address that. Because their first competition, they got first in their division and all that. They saw some other kids, and they didn't do as well this week, but it's good. It gives them a little bit of confidence to go into the next one, thinking that there is improvement to be made.
There's always improvement to be made.
Absolutely. But it was fun. I had a good time. I was running around there with props onto the field and off the field. Do 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 do. So we have Howard from LA with Second Amendment, but I have Jeff on. So we will be having him on right now.
For those about to rock, we salute you. Again, a lot of love for you on the social media. I got Fred says, "Wow, Rick, thank you for what you do." Marion says, "Glad you're here. Your CRPA reports are one of my favorite features of the show."
You get a lot of traction over here for what you do. Like if there's been times where I'm like, hey, if he has a busy week, don't go 2 segments if he's not too busy, because we have so many people that want to jump in and ask your opinion on this or that, or they just want to hear more of what's going on. I know there's slower weeks and the kids are always out at recess. And so,
although this recess has been weird, they haven't really been out.
They've been
we've been working our butt off, because normally this time of the year that I call Jeff and go, hey, I'm going to go
take it right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not this one. Yeah, I mean, with everything.
Budget woes, the redistricting.
Well, when Katie Porter did that crap of, announcing she was running like a year in advance, and the Secretary of State didn't do anything, then all the rules fell to the wayside. And so now, like, we're not supposed to look at bill development, but everybody's developing bills right now.
Oh, they're trying to prompt her to, when she steps that first foot in, start making changes again.
Well, they're planted on something that they might not. I understand that polls are polls, and there are all kinds of polls. I think it was Disraeli who said there are lies, there are damned lies, and there are statistics. But the most recent poll that I saw said there's a new sheriff in town. It's not the right sheriff, unfortunately, but she's not number one anymore.
Yeah. I mean, she's got a lot. I know they say no press is bad press, but she's kind of showed
a lot of negative
her character on a lot of different platforms, and even turning
I had
off.
to fly with her once, and I prayed that God wouldn't take the plane out while I was on it.
It's getting warm in here. Oh, we went back.
Perfect song for Jeff.
Right? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gunslingers on the Gunslingers Syndicated Radio Network. We again have Mr. Rick Travis of the CRPA in-house tonight.
Woo-hoo.
We're going to be talking about all the things and all the moving and shaking going on in Sacramento, all the things he is touching upon, but also
for all those people who have asked, hey, where's Jeff? Where's El Jefe?
You know what? Let's get an update from the man himself. Jeff, how are you doing,
sir?
Oh, wow.
I'm doing okay.
That is a voice.
How's it going there?
We are rolling along. We are missing you. We are praying for you. You sound strong, and I love to hear it.
Man.
Yeah, so good to hear your voice.
Thanks. Thanks. I wasn't quite sure if you were ever going to there for a minute.
No.
We had the surgery Thursday, and of course they told us to be here at 5, and then they don't even open until 5:30.
Of course. Hurry up and wait.
And it was about a 3.5 hour surgery. They replaced my 2 main arteries, and Mark, as to what you said earlier, they said by the end of 4 or 5 days I should be walking 3 laps. They have this little situation where it's set out so you can walk laps, and today I did 16.
That's the man.
I rest my case.
Yeah, we are not surprised on this side.
Yeah, and to be honest, I'm probably going to, when the show ends, I'm probably going to go out and do another 5 or 6, because I still have 1 tube in my lung. They took out 1 today, but I still have 1 tube in my lung because it had a little bit of too much fluid in it still, and walking drains it. So I'm probably going to go do some more as soon as show's over.
Oh, well, I mean,
right, tougher than your average
Or you could
bear.
walk and listen.
Oh, hey, you could.
They started me off on this crazy walker with 4 wheels, and I'm not even using anything now. I'm just walking.
That's how you do it.
Trucking. I love it. I'm completely unsurprised, but delighted to hear that.
You are getting so many.
And then as far as other stuff that you guys said, of course, you mentioned Leon. I talked to Leon today to make sure everything's good for next week. And the guy's got pneumonia, but he said he's feeling a lot better, and he's going to call and confirm on Wednesday.
Okay.
So, yeah, if not, then maybe I'm going home tomorrow. Hell or high water. I've already explained to the doctor, dude, I don't think you understand me. I'm going home tomorrow.
This is not a request.
Yeah. Yeah, they like to keep you here a week, and today is officially day 3, and they almost let me go, but I was right on the border with this other tube in my other lung, and so they said, they're going to keep me one more day, and I said, all right, one more day.
One more day. Begrudgingly.
Hard to keep a good man down.
Yep.
Hard to keep a good man from going crazy. I don't know how many of you guys have had to stay in the hospital recently, but boy.
It is not a fun place, is it?
Oh no.
Well, let's see. My TV screen is smaller than the screen I have at my computer at the house, and that's including my laptop. I think it's DirecTV, but there's only like 6 channels, and 3 of them are the same channel.
The menu.
More Oprah for you, sir.
Oh man, I've been watching on FX. I've been watching the Pirates of the Caribbean all day. At least last night I got to see the game, but today it's been on this FX all day because there's no other channels.
See, the entire sequence of they're up to about 7 or 8 now.
Yeah.
So all of them.
Yeah.
So if you watched Captain Jack from when he was a baby.
Well, I tried to turn on a football game, but it kept spazzing out and pausing, and it's like, you know what? I hate football anyway.
Well, I'm glad you got last night's Dodger game instead of the one before, because I was thinking, man, if Jeff's watching this, he's going to have a heart attack. Oh, that's too soon.
Actually, they got upset because my blood pressure went up on Friday night's game.
I rest my case.
Turn it off. Turn it off.
Kirk says, orange sherbet?
I want you guys to know I called the Grand Slam before it even happened. They said they were bringing him in. Oh, great, he's going to give up a Grand Slam. And lo and behold, I almost said something bad there. I forget I'm on the radio, too. Anyway, hey, Rick, I really appreciate you sitting in for me. And
My pleasure, brother. My pleasure.
Well, I appreciate it. And whenever you want me to come on your show, or if you ever want me to come on,
I do. I just need you healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go into the shop a little bit on Wednesday.
Of course you are.
Well, yeah, we got some stuff coming in I don't want to miss. So I've been ordered by everybody that I have to sit on my hands and just look. I want to see this stuff, so that's going to be fun. Oh, and then the Jim Bowie thing.
Yes.
I got to tell you, for all you cowboy action shooters, listen, Jim Bowie has done so much for you guys. He has not wanted to come to End of Trail for years. He comes out there for you guys. Half the time, the man doesn't even charge people.
Right.
And it's criminal that we haven't already. I gave $500 the first day. Actually, it was $574. I did it anonymously, so I guess I blew that. But you know what? I'm really upset with you guys. This is not right. $50, $100. This is Jim Bowie we're talking about, and shame on you people for not kicking in.
So it's Jim Bowie on GoFundMe, folks. If anyone has a link in any of the chats we're on, go ahead and plaster it on there. Tag anyone. If you're going to put it up on yours, we will send it directly to anywhere we can.
Just the people that Jim did work for nothing for kicked in at $50, we'd already be way over the money that they're asking for.
Come on,
and this is just embarrassing to me that our community, the Cowboy Action community, has not stood up and done much of anything, because I've seen a lot of people post stuff, and I did it within 10 minutes. I was like, Jim is one of my dearest friends, and so I kicked in as much as it would let me at the time. So anyway, I'll get off my soapbox now.
You don't have to. I'll pick it up, because they don't make people better than him.
Come on.
They just don't.
No, they really don't. I mean, Jim would literally give you the shirt off your back and ask you if you needed a towel.
Yeah.
So come on, folks. Let's come together as not only the community of cowboy action shooters. If you understand how much he's meant to the community of just firearms in general, you guys should be jumping in on this to help this good man out. So that's Jim Bowie over at GoFundMe. You should probably be able to check it out. Oh, the GoFundMe is actually in the YouTube chat. It's actually on all the chats. So if you're on YouTube, on Rumble, on Facebook, you'll see a link there. You guys jump on it and you get in there for our friend. Thank you.
Props to our
Kev.
staff.
Kev goes over there.
Even if you're not a cowboy shooter, send him $10. $10 isn't going to, kill anybody. You can't even get McDonald's in the morning for $10 anymore.
Yeah.
So just send them $10. It's better than nothing.
Thank you. No, well, that's what our community's here for. We're here to support each other, and then the folks, this is how you do it. Go and help a good man out. And Jeff, I know this is not going to come off well and everything, but you're getting a lot of praise, a lot of prayers, a lot of praise,
a
lot of love,
a whole lot of love.
I appreciate it, guys. I'm telling you, this was pretty nerve-wracking, and I mean, I know me, and I know me. I'm too tough, and most people say I don't have a heart anyway. So
well, now we know you do.
But from my family, I feel so bad because they had to endure it, and they can't tell what's going on. And my wife Kathy has been here in the hospital with me the entire time since Thursday. She has only left to go home, check the dogs, feed the animals, and come back.
Hey, Mom.
Thank you to her.
What a doll.
I can hear her in the background giggling, so yeah, I know she's there.
Yeah, and let me tell you guys, the nurses here are absolutely fantastic. I'm in an intensive care unit, and we're in like this circle, and we've got a bunch of nurses right in the center that, anything goes wrong, you hit a button, man, they are here in a second and a half, and they have just been great. The doctors, on the other hand,
you can say that now that you're out of surgery.
I was going to say.
Yeah. They're a little too highfalutin for me. They come in, I'm your doctor. I was like, yeah, well, I'm the guy who sold you a gun last week. So,
did you come in a cape? I'm Batman.
Right? But and the last thing I'll touch on here, okay, the food. Oh my God. I have can you even call this food? I mean, have you ever heard of 2 weeks ago salads are us? I mean, you open this little salad thing and it stinks. It's like, this smells like it's been, it smells
so,
like
Jeff, is it better?
Salad that's been in a baggie for 2 weeks. It's so bad. And they managed to screw up mashed potatoes.
Discount potatoes. That's
How
what I
can
was
you
going to say.
screw up mashed potatoes?
Oh, you can screw them up. But Jeff, is it better or worse than an MRE?
Ooh, fair, fun question.
You know what? I'll tell you right now, I've had MREs that were better.
I'm not going to lie. My sister used to bring him back from when she was doing Army stints, and I used to eat the hell out of them.
You're just trying to get the lemonade powder, man.
The freeze-dried strawberries. Oh, those are great.
There's good stuff everywhere. I'm not picky, though.
Nobody's going to a hospital for the food.
No.
Tell you what, but I understand your haste to get back home after that.
Well, she's been sneaking food in. You remember Henry Hill when he's in jail?
Oh, yeah.
And the wife smuggled it. She's been doing that stuff for me. I actually had In-N-Out for dinner tonight.
Oh.
I had a Flying Dutchman with no salt and just ketchup and mustard on it, and iced tea because I'm so sick to death of water and whatever this brown stuff is they keep trying to serve me.
Not a fan of the coffee.
It says in the menu, it's various brown stuff.
Various brown liquids.
On the label, it says that. Well, you continue being a legend when you get In-N-Out smuggled into you.
Well, I like I said, I've got all the nurses on my side. They're all pulling for me, and they're all, trying to make sure that they talk to the doctors to get me out and everything. So, they all turn and look the other way when she comes sneaking in with,
that's going to be the
cheeseburgers
new
and
question on the
fries.
4473 that had food smuggled.
It's not like it smells or anything.
Oh man, well, we're all just so happy to hear your jovial voice. I was kind of scared to hear how you're going to be and all that, but to hear you at this level right now, it's such a blessing and it's such a relief to so many of us.
Well, thanks. I'll tell you. I mean, I know I couldn't do it, but I feel like I could probably come in and do the show right now. But I do get tired. So
of course,
I'm gonna have to watch it. But we got Leon next week, and the week after that, I'll be back for sure.
All right.
Really glad to hear
we
that.
Can't
But
wait.
you know what? This is like a baseball season. There's 162 games. You got to pace yourself, right? Don't try to rush the healing, man. We need you for the rest of the year.
Rick.
Yeah.
The nurse came in right at 7:00 and had to do a bunch of adjusting on stuff. I didn't hear is anything going on in California? Did you get into that at all?
No, not yet. We haven't jumped into it yet.
We haven't done it. They haven't been pressuring me like somebody normally does.
I resemble that remark. It's my job. Well, you know what? Are you coming up on the break?
Yeah, we're coming up on it right now. We got 1 minute.
Well,
any questions you wanted to ask?
Let me see. No, nothing's happening in the courts, Jeff.
Well, yeah. Hendo asked if when I come on, if you're going to play the Darth Vader music.
I thought that was pretty.
Yeah, I told him shh. So, all right, why don't you go to break? I'll stay on the line, and then I'll leave you guys alone at 8:00, and then Rick, give us an update. How's that sound?
Okay. Yeah, so we have a couple callers. You guys just hold on tight. We'll get you to as quickly as we can. But, ladies and gentlemen, Jeff, the Gunslinger himself, here on the Gunslinger Syndicated Network. We had a call there for...
Man, he does sound good.
Very good.
We've had the conversation before. I had a friend who had a heart attack literally in my car. And so the hospital, the EMTs came and took him and put him in the hospital. I couldn't see him until after the weekend. And when I saw him, my heart's coming out of my chest because I'm so worried about him. I see him 3 days later. He looked better than he'd looked in literally years because you clear up
we are losing
those
callers.
occluded arteries.
Yeah, they're waiting a bit and they're probably falling off.
Well, throw out the number in the call and tell them what we're doing.
Yeah, when we come back, I'll say, hey, I saw we had a couple callers there. Just hold on. We'll get to you as soon as we can.
Now, everybody all together, that's
.com.
I feel free. I feel free. Ooh. Ooh.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gunslinger Show right here on the Gunslinger Syndicated Radio Network. We did have a few callers that were on there that dropped off. You guys just give us a bit. Give us a call back at 866-870-5752. I saw that Kathy did have a quick question for Rick. So call back in just a bit. We'll go ahead and make sure we jump on. Sean over in L.A., go ahead and just hold tight. We still have Jeff, the Gunslinger, on the line. Welcome back, Jeff.
And Jimmy, that'll be in our second
Power.
Tower. That's right.
Yes, sir.
I love the fact you're directing the band from a hospital bed, man.
I know, right?
That's so good.
The conductor over there.
Yeah, in a hospital bed. I love doing the show. What can I tell you? So I'll probably pass out as soon as I'm done here. But all right, Rick, go.
Go with what?
Did you have any questions you wanted to ask? Anything about like taxes or impending litigation or anything, Jeff?
Nah, I'm going to give him that. I'll give him tonight off for that since he came in for me. But is anything going on in Excremento?
Yeah, there's quite a bit that we were going to break down after we took some of the questions. But one of the big dynamic changes that we were talking about during the break is normally, as you know, Jeff, this is the time of the year I try to sneak away and go exercise my Second Amendment rights in my favorite activities. And I'm not being able to do so because, there's a whole lot of bill writing going on when normally we're not doing that this time of the year. So I'm going to break some of those down a little bit, what we're seeing coming at us and some of the things that are being threatened. And talk about some things that people can do, like just arm them with some fun facts. And we also have a huge event that we're going to talk about a little bit later in the show that's coming on that impacts the ladies out there. So hopefully the women will stay online during the second hour when we get to talk about it. And youth shooting sports are heating up, and those are doing good statewide, and they're expanding. And so I think that's really good. I'm hoping that the politics of the state don't change in a direction where they're prohibited, but right now we're seeing a lot of the sports have been started at two different ends of the state, merge in the middle. CIF's approving them, and
nice.
That's really good because shooting sports is the one sport where youth who are in wheelchairs, as you and I've talked several times, Jeff, they're not benched. They don't become the water person. They actually compete at the same level with those that have no infirmities, and so that's really important. And then I have a couple of surprise pieces of legislation that I was going to kind of unveil tonight on the show for you.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
I'll still be listening after I go. You don't have to do it all right this minute.
Oh, good, because I was planning to space it out.
Yeah, since he's had the time, he could really dive in this show. So yeah, definitely.
Kirk online has reminded us of something that's really, really important, and I think we should throw this out for you, Rick. Jeff, you'll appreciate this. Jeff, do you have a song you want Rick to sing? Sorry, Rick, but it's a tradition. The guest must sing.
You know what?
You don't want to do that because you're going to lose all your listeners.
Oh, they have to hear me every once in a while, so they're not going to run too fast.
Yeah, Rick, you can do the Star Spangled Banner. Piece of cake.
Oh, wow.
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
Yep, definitely.
So, did they give you a timeline, say, because you are progressing so well, about when you do get home, what kind of activities you may or may not be limited in time-wise, where you can get into your favorite activities?
Yeah, I mean, I basically am kind of a couch potato for 6 weeks, but you know me, that'll last about 6 minutes, and I'll be back to work here pretty quick. Like I said, I'm just going to have to sit. So when people come in, I like helping. When people come in and buy, when they're nice enough to buy a lot of guns at our auction, I like to help them carry them out. I'm not going to be able to do that for 6 weeks. So I figured just about the time our next auction is ready to kick off, I'll be just about done. And Mark, I specifically asked, and I will be able to shoot at End of Trail.
Oh,
look road trip.
I've got a couple people that have contacted me, Jeff, that said once you are back and wanted to talk, they would love to talk to you because they'd like to come down and maybe help them as an auctioneer at a couple of their different events. And so I'll connect you to those people. So
get that.
I'm never too proud to accept help.
That's
cool.
I am going to be looking for some Winchester Featherlights, the little 980 grain, the 980 load, because I don't think I don't think STSs are going to feel all that great.
No, if you need them, I got some for you. Okay.
Oh, cool. Okay.
I mean, I know you know a guy that owns a store.
Yeah, but you know what? I think Winchester has discontinued them again.
Oh, ouch. Well, I'll make sure you're covered.
I've been calling Sports South and RSR, two of the biggest suppliers in the U.S., and neither one of them they're like, wait, what is that again? Yeah,
wow.
So not only do they not have them, they have not had them in some time. So I'm kind of wondering what's going on with that. But
in the next segment, we'll talk about the importance of having those shells available. But like I said, you're definitely covered, okay?
Yeah, especially because you just put out the feelers to the whole entire community. I'm pretty sure all of our friends and family out there are willing and able to help you out too. So.
Well, I appreciate that. And speaking of the Azusa store, my son Andy and his new hire Cal have really stepped it up for me, and they've been doing just an absolute fantastic job. Andy, as you guys know, he does our eBay store, and our eBay store does anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 a week. And they have to upload all the pictures and descriptions and collect the monies and all the stuff that they do. So between eBay and Gun Broker, Andy's been doing really good because oddly enough, I'm not making much money right now.
As long as the machine is still rolling on, and good for him, good for Andy for stepping up to the plate.
Yeah, well, and he took Jeffrey, who is already he's just like me. He's like, I want to go home now.
Oh.
Yeah. Andy texted me today and said that he told Jeffrey that he was going to have to stay one more day, and Jeffrey's response was, yuck.
He's the man.
I see no flaw in his thesis.
Yeah. Well, what is it? Fishing companies start to smell after 2 days.
There you go. Yeah.
So anyway, all right. Well, you know what? I'm going to let you guys go because I know you got a show to do and all.
Hey, you know what?
You're kind of the centerpiece,
You are
Jeff.
the show most of the time. So thank you.
Well, thank you kindly. And Jimmy, I appreciate you, sitting in the big chair and doing all the stuff. And hey, guys, give us a call. Jimmy, what's that number?
866-870-5752. Once again, that's 866-870-5752. So everyone out there who's either dropped off or want to jump back in, especially before we get to
Our
Go ahead.
All right. And Jimmy, get ready because I got one last thing to say, and then I'm going to hang up on you guys. If you guys don't call, or if you guys don't kick in some money to our friend Jim Bowie, you better watch out because the Wolf Man gonna get you.
Yeah, and you know what? Again, we have the GoFundMe link in all the chats over there. We'll probably be putting
We've
it
got
up.
some people who've already donated.
Yeah, we'll probably be putting it up on all of our socials and all that, folks, so you guys can everyone jump
I'm
in.
proud of those that did. Thank you very much. You couldn't be helping out a finer man.
Absolutely.
Okay, guys. I'll see you guys soon.
Yes, sir. God bless
Looking
you.
forward
We
to it,
miss you.
Jeff.
Okay. Talk to you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Ryan, we have 2 minutes. We're going to wait to get to Sean and Howard. Just hold on tight.
So we
until
have enough time to give you your due diligence.
in our next power-packed hour, folks. Yes, but we're going to be Rick's going to go into this next hour, and we're going to elaborate on some of the things he's been working on. He's got some great stuff, and especially for the ladies out there. But we're going to be going through all of that with you guys. You guys continue to pour in your calls. Our second hour is for the calls. If you want to talk to Rick, if you have any questions on the auction coming up in December, oh my goodness, that's right around the corner.
Yeah.
If you have any questions on, say, just buying firearms in general, what you should wear, we always touch on that, don't we? But and we have some history coming up. I know Mark had.
We do, and I wanted to run down real quick. We want to talk about 12-gauge shotguns because we were talking about Winchester Featherlights, and people have made some suggestions, and I want to take a second and explain why Jeff, who's very knowledgeable, has exactly the right choice in mind.
Absolutely. So we have a lot to touch in on, folks, so don't you run away from your radio dial or your screen because we're going to be right back in just a bit with the Gunslinger Syndicated Radio Network.
That's a lot in life, Lelania. Anybody here old enough to remember that song?
I love that song. Jeff used to put it on the pizza shop when we used to work there. We used to run every day that he was there, they had the jukebox, and you get like 10 free songs the first couple people there. And so we'd take all of those and we'd be just the whole entire time just belting out songs, and we'd play Galaga. There was this little two-player Galaga game where I'd sit on that side.
And oh God, yes, old school cool.
Oh, we would sit there for hours. He'd go back into the cash register, grab a handful of quarters, and let's go again. And if we play that while people are working around us, I was spoiled every time.
I want to use this time wisely as possible, although if you want to go get a drink or something like that. But Mark Ray did want to know about the GVROs and the red flag laws. You want to take a second and break down what's going on there? Because this is the online presence.
Yeah, we'll go ahead. Well, yeah, we'll jump into that. Everyone's still donating. Love to see it. Look at that. And you guys have the link, so there's no excuse. You do have the link up there. Support a good man and support your fellow 2A brethren. Let's go.
Long break, gunslingers. Favorite rifle? Everyone chime in. Let's hear it. And Jeff says, Springfield 03 and all its variations.
Of course.
All right. I want to throw one out. In 2024, I won the World Bolt Action Military Rifle Championship. I don't have enough time to pursue this kind of stuff the way that I should. But I said, all right, 2025, I'm going back. I finished 5th. Now, that's
not bad.
But for me... Yeah. Understand this thing about me. I didn't go to finish 2nd, let alone 5th. I could not hit anything. So we had this military military rifle competition last weekend, and
Oh yes, I forgot you to mention that.
I took the Springfield out, fairly confident that I should be able to do a good job with it, and I couldn't hit Jack with it. I mean, I was doing terrible, and they bring the targets in. We got to go several times around, which is very, very fortunate because I did very, very much better with a rifle that shoots properly. I did win the match. Anyway, so we brought the Springfield targets in, and one of them, that was the one I was going to put up in my picture. One of them was keyholed.
Ooh.
Which would go a long way towards explaining why I was not hitting Jack out at the championships out in Ben Avery.
That puts up
So it's time for a new barrel, or is it just a new crown? I think it's a new barrel for my Springfield 03.
Yeah, but now we have a barrel law. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Myself, because I'm a simple man with simple means, I'm going with the Mini 30. Just because I do enjoy that rifle. I just like the round. I'm a Mini 14 guy. I
love my Mini 14.
I think it's an all-around, just a fun shooter. It gets stuff.
Why the Mini 30? Is it you prefer the caliber?
I think the caliber is just for distance-wise, and it's just as hardy as a round. You want to feel like you're shooting. Sometimes the Mini 14, you kind of want a little more behind there. And the 30 just feels like you're manning something.
I love that. That is one of my favorite rifles as well.
Wonderful.
Just so you knows. And it has, in addition to being a good, reliable platform, modestly priced, it has the virtue of being effectively off the legislative radar.
Yeah, and I'm a man of simple means and simple gains, and that checks all my boxes.
I am tepid about the Mini 14, recognizing the value of it, but the Mini 30, that's a great one. Your thoughts, ladies and gentlemen?
And I love my Tika T3 light.
Oh, the Tika.
Caliber?
6.5 Creed.
6.5 Creed? Reach out and touch someone, huh? Mm-hmm. The ballistics of 6.5 Creedmoor are very, very, very impressive.
Yeah.
The people.
And you know what? It doesn't beat my shoulder up like a 7mm does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's it. It ticks very, very many boxes.
Right.
And ballistically, it's so efficient.
Mm-hmm.
You got to love that.
So we do have 3 calls. So we'll go into the first call, Sean, and then
That's the GVRO, right?
No, this one. This one. Was there 2 about there? No, you can go into that. We'll go into him. He's got a quick thing. We'll make it kind of quick about his father's heart experience. We'll go in because there is the GV. Okay, so there is a call from Howard about that. So we'll go into that next, right after that, and then you can comment on that. Yeah. And then we'll let Sean. He's got a call about Brownings. We'll go ahead and set him off the side so you can go into more of your stuff.
Sure.
Kirk has piled in big time on the favorite rifle.
Oh, look at him go.
Pre-64 Winchester, Model 70 and 243. 243 is a great caliber. It should have been our military caliber, honestly. Winchester Model 94 and 30-30 till 5 shots, then you hand it off.
Your turn.
Everybody likes to carry them because they're so light and handy, but there is no substitute for weight when you're dealing with recoil.
Eric Peterson over there on Facebook. My Russian SKS in 7.6239.
You know who finished second at that rifle match?
Who?
A guy shooting an SKS. I'm not kidding. That has a reputation for being inaccurate and kind of sloppy. This guy shot seriously a 153 with an SKS. So it was definitely breathed on, and the guy was definitely a good shooter. But man, do not overlook that rifle. Everyone should have.
People used to overlook the Mosin Nagant, and that's a very good rifle.
Right?
And it's come up in popularity so much the last
crazy.
few years.
They're crazy expensive now.
Yes.
Yeah. Remember when they were at Big 5 for like nothing?
$59 or something.
Yeah.
We had an Epic Guns episode where we ran a bunch of top sniper rifles against each other, and it's killing Jeff, I know, to hear this, but he'll remember the Mosin Nagant won.
Yeah.
This gets Mauser K98s and Springfields and Enfield T4. This is really a good rifle. Let me see. But Kirk reminds us, for those of you that like your mini 14s, the A team never hit anything with a mini 14.
Wow.
Here we go.
Oh yeah, that's the way you start your second power packed hour, baby. We are Iron Men. That's what we are. Slinging them, swinging them, and selling them, folks. This is the Gunslinger Syndicated Radio Network, folks, and this is our second
Pop. It sounds like I'm trying to kickstart a Honda. Power packed hour,
baby. Yeah, so we're going to jump. And again, this is the Gunslinger Syndicated Radio Network, so we're going to talk all funds with guns. We got Rick Travis from the CRPA. He's going to delve into a lot of the things he's working with in the second hour, but we're going to jump into the calls right now, start hammering out, because you guys are calling in at 866-870-5752, and let's jump with Sean from L.A. I think he's got some things about what Jeff's going through. What's going on, Sean?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Doing all right, Sean. What's going on with you tonight? Yes, we can.
We got you.
We got you, friend.
So I have real intimate knowledge with heart disease. Both my grandfather and father had a couple of heart attacks and did not end well. However, I think that as I think back on it, that's from my dad. His second heart attack, he stayed in the hospital for 6 or 7 days. I think the first one, he was there for 5 days. And the reason why is he wanted to go back to work real quick, and the doctor was never going to prove that.
Mm-hmm.
But also the stress involved and the high incidence of infection and other complications, pneumonia being one of them.
Oh, yeah.
I know Jeff was going to hate me for saying this, but 4 days, 3 to 4 days, is not enough time. It's just, and I know that from being in the hospital with my dad and my grandfather.
Yeah, that's an extensive healing process he has to go through, so I absolutely understand that.
Yeah. I was in the hospital for 8 days because I had a little back surgery, and what Jeff had is a lot more serious.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to impart that knowledge.
He's listening, so he's here. He's listening right now, so he's hearing that. And hopefully, not to take that phrase out too often, but hopefully he's taking heart, because we want him to heal up and be well and be as strong as he can, in the best way.
A couple extra days.
He can't go back to work. He can get out if he goes AMA against medical advice. I was an EMT for about 15 years, and we always had people who didn't want treatment or wanted to get out of the hospital or whatever. But, if he wants to get out, he has to go AMA, and that's...
and we want him to go...
That's the wrong move.
Yeah, we want him to go along with the doctor's orders and all that.
Yeah,
so
go along with the program. I know it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
But, my dad hated being in the hospital. The first time was for 6 days or 5 days, and the second time was for 6 days.
Yeah, this show was all about safety, we want to make sure.
Go back to work for about 4 or 5 weeks afterwards. So
better safe than sorry. Absolutely.
I just wanted to impart my experience with that. So.
We appreciate that, Sean. We thank you, and he's listening to those words right now, and he hears the sincerity of how much we need him to get back well, and we appreciate the call, Sean. Thank you very much.
Appreciate your concern.
Okay, thanks, guys.
God bless you. Be safe out there.
Thank you.
Have a good Sunday night.
All right, because we've already had this type of question come up, we have Howard in L.A. Howard, you there?
I'm here. I was listening to the Howard Jarvis radio show on last Tuesday, and somebody called up about some of the politicians up north that wanted to defund the cops. And John Kupal, the guy who took over for Howard Jarvis, he went off on the politician. He's really pro-Second Amendment. Mm-hmm. There was a time about 2 years ago when his organization got a tax from on firearms in the Bay Area rescinded. Rick might consider talking with them about getting that 11%, something happening with that. And
there's no escape.
Also to come up with the CRPA and Howard Jarvis a list of candidates that they support.
Absolutely.
That's good advice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So
and Mark, I missed you with the last CRPA meet. I figured out how to get there without going psychotic in the crap traffic.
Oh, man.
I start out for a 7 o'clock meeting at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, go to a train hobby shop, spend a few hours looking at nothing there.
And then it's a short jaunt. That's why, when I go, I ride a motorcycle. That's why.
I see.
Splitting lanes,
I
man.
go over to a restaurant that Hugh Hauser liked and have a turkey dinner, and then I drive over to the VA hall. No, it's not the VA. Yeah, Veterans of Foreign War Hall, and I sleep in my car for about an hour.
Oh, I'm glad you got a plan, Howard.
We appreciate the fact that you're putting in a day so that you can go to the CRPA meeting, man. I will be there for the next one.
You weren't there, and I really want to talk to you about a couple of things.
I will be there for the next one.
All right, sweet.
We had a little home emergency.
There was a guy, a lawyer, who was handling the meeting, and I said to him and the group there that listening to what's going on legally, or more like illegally in our legislature, I said I start feeling like Kelly Bundy.
Little blonde in the head.
I mean, when Bud was trying to help her pass her GED, he said, "Well, I did this like a computer. I had to delete a lot of stuff to make room in her memory for what she needs to pass the test." And she wasn't sure who her parents were.
In fairness, though, that is why the CRPA and Rick especially are so useful, because again, they specialize in doing the heavy lifting that if you have a job or a life, it's very, very difficult for us to navigate around. Mm-hmm. We like to think that we vote and then we're all good. But the struggle is continuous and it never stops, and that's why Rick and the CRPA are so important. Definitely. And which is why it's so great that you're a participant going to the meetings and that sort of thing.
We definitely appreciate you supporting the CRPA, Howard.
One
thank
other
you so
thing,
much.
Brent, out in my neck of the West LA area, I'd like to meet with him. Maybe over a couple of corned beef Reubens.
Brent
He's a real good guy.
Love that, man. Hopefully, Brent, make sure you call in early last time. I had to cut you off because we were running out of time. But thank you, Howard. Yes, definitely. And let us know how your next go at the CRPA meeting goes. See if your
what
schedule
time you
changes
kick off.
at all.
I'll talk to him.
Yeah, definitely. Find him out. Well, maybe he'll call and he'll give you some contact.
Looks like.
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you so much, Howard. We're coming up on the break in just a sec, but we appreciate you.
I do have a couple comments for Howard. We do work with the Howard Jarvis Tax Association on several different things. It just depends with the lawyers between the two organizations how that fleshes out. But on the excise tax, I say it every week, but I'll say it again. We have multiple states. I believe there's 9 states now. There's multiple organizations in those states, and we're having to craft this because it's now over 2 different districts, which is good because that helps us kick it up to the Supreme Court faster. Right. But this fight is a long fight. It's not the only thing. And hopefully, when I get a chance to talk a little bit deeper in one of the segments, I can explain why this excise tax is a good template for people to realize why when I start off in January saying I need all hands on deck, I do, because otherwise this stuff tends to grow legs and go across the country.
Yep.
As it is doing now.
I look at the legislature of California as the command staff of the Army arrayed against the citizens of the state.
That ain't wrong.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Howard. We appreciate you.
Okay, I'll let you go.
Yeah, keep an ear out, and God bless you. Rick's going to jump into this next segment with a lot of the news he has. He's got a lot to do.
Legislation.
You guys have been calling in and all that at 866-870-5752. I got Sean and Mike on there. You guys are going to hold on just a bit. I'm going to give Rick some time to really flesh out a lot of things he has on board, but
we're going to get to you.
Yeah. You are listening to the Gunslinger Syndicated Radio Network, and we'll be right back.
So where do you want me to go? Like I can talk to them about how bills actually get processed in the Capitol, because a lot of people are still stuck on that funny cartoon that we all grew up with.
Oh, yeah. I'm just a bill on Capitol Hill.
Yeah. I can go into the WAVE program, or I can actually go into a couple of pieces of legislation that look like they're going to be coming on board. And also, maybe that's what I'll do. I'll talk about what's going to happen in January.
I think that you should go into that portion, and then if we have time, we'll get the calls, and then I think the wave should be in the third
Okay.
segment.
Got it.
And then we'll finish out strong. I have Mike from El Segundo who tends to be a bit chatty, so I'm going to put him off. Sean, we'll get in between there. And I think it's Sean from Covina, one of our regulars as well.
We do need to answer Mark's question about the red flags.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll get into that. So.
And Kirk says, the barrel law, and how is that going to influence my ability to screw a new barrel onto a 1942 bolt-action rifle?
You're good on the barrel law until July 1st, 2027. So we have time.
Welcome back to the Gunslinger Syndicated Radio Network. Again, we have our special guest in tonight, Rick Travis from the CRPA. We are still taking your calls at 866-870-5752. We're going to put him off for a while, see Sean and Mike on there a bit. We're going to let Rick jump into some of the things he has going on and working with the CRPA.
Yeah, so we have a 2-year session in California, which makes us a bit different from many of the states. And so there's 2 times to introduce bills. And so some of the bills that came in, like 1333, going after the Castle Doctrine, stuff like those get shut down, which is good, but they become what are known as 2-year bills. And 2-year bills are frightening for a couple of reasons. One is because a 2-year bill, when it goes into what's called there's a file, depending on the committee it's in, but it's usually called a suspense file, goes into suspense, stays there, and people say it's dead. It's dead for the first session. Mm-hmm. It's not necessarily dead for the second session. And that's what we're coming up on is in January, there are bills like Assembly Bill 1092, which is the one that we have written, designed to take us from 2-year to 4-year CCWs for both initial and renewal. That is inside that pile, along with things like 1333 and others that are negative. And so it literally comes down to this pivotal point of about 2 weeks of you have a week to try to influence as many legislators as possible, and then you have the showdown in those committees the following week. And it's really complex because the Capitol is torn up. You know, it's like the bullet train. It was supposed to be done in like a couple of years. I think we're in year 8 now, which means that unlike when I first was up there and worked in the Capitol, you know, all the offices were in the same building. All the hearings were in the same building. So, yes, it was a pain in the butt run up and down to the different wings and stuff, but you learned how to do it. Now, literally with the rainstorms in January, you're mowing across several lanes and trying to get about a half a mile to another building, go through security, run into an office, then run from there back to the other building because they ping-pong you back and forth. And yes, it is done on purpose.
Oh, yeah. Keep them separated.
Many times. And so you're sopping wet, going in, going, here's what I got to talk to you about, and you only get 3 minutes. And so it's, you know, you have to have a lot in there. What we're doing and strategizing and changing, what I want to talk to people about is we're not having just one Capitol Day. We're now having 2 Capitol Days. And so we've moved another one up into January and have already started setting up the appointments. And we're bringing a very special group of people up there that we're training for that, which I'll talk about in the next segment. Yeah. But we are totally changing the way the book is. And the other thing is, you know, this was the first time in 35 years we got a positive Second Amendment bill across. But I had promised all of you, I promised on this show, I debuted it on this show, that we were going to go offense. And this year we're bringing 10 bills.
10 bills.
So it's a cross-section. It's kind of a shotgun pattern, Mark would tell me, when you look at what we're doing. But there's a lot of strategy into it because what we're trying to do is get things put in place so when we win these court cases, it doesn't become, and I think a good template this year was, you know, we wanted to win v. Bonta, the 1 in 30 rule.
Right.
And immediately, Mark Berman, you know, the assembly member says, well, what about 3 in 30? And, you know, when the court says no, he's going to come back with another bill, 5 in 30. He's looking for where that number is, where finally people get tired and go, okay, that's the number. There is no number.
No.
But we have to keep fighting that. So what we're trying to do is get some definitions changed, get some other things done that aren't looks real sexy, but what they do is they bind them down and try to hold them accountable.
So they can't just keep death by 1,000 cuts.
It's all of us are very, I think, geared towards what we do in this community. So, when we were talking in the break, if you say a Mosin Nagant, it's a 7.62 by 54 millimeter round, what it is.
I love this guy.
And so you have to sit there and talk within those parameters. But definitions are so loose across the board, not just in the second community, in the capital, that, just a definition of what makes a round. There's 30 different definitions.
Yeah. So it makes some of these terms more concrete so they can stop.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Because otherwise they're like, oh, well, they didn't mean that definition. They meant this. Stop. But
you can anticipate their wordplay of how they're going to change something. Like you say, the went from 1 to 3 to 5 to 7. If you make a stopping point with the verbiage concrete, then there's no way to walk around it.
Right.
You'll have to look up a different alley.
And then part of this is also train our community. I love what we're doing tonight, trying to raise money for Jim Bowie, because that's important. This community's got to realize an attack on any single part of it is an attack on everybody.
Absolutely.
And everybody thinks death of 1,000 cuts is the incrementalism. But no, it's also, if you look at what the left throws as, it's designed to define the community by dividing it up. And it makes it so complex. And it's the whole thing about going after the scary militarized assault rifles. Okay, number one, that is, don't use those terms.
No.
Don't call them that anymore. But number two, realize if it's about preserving life, you got to look at the games they play, of how they classify when it's convenient. Oh, youth are, birth to 18. But when it comes to firearms, oh, no, we're going to jack that number up to 26 so we can include gang violence.
Gang members, absolutely.
To make it like this is the most deadly thing. I say this all the time when I've been on the speaking circuit this last couple of months of, you look at the scary militarized firearms, and any time in the last 25 years, according to the FBI, according to the CDC, all the people that track this stuff, it's less than 400 people. And I don't say less than 400 like that's casual. It's not casual. Mm-hmm. Losing a life is horrific. But folks, we lose more people every year, every one of those years, to hammers. And when you talk to the FBI, the majority of those were bought by women that used them on men. I'm not making any statements on that, but when's the last time that you went to Lowe's and you see a woman going to buy a hammer and you see the guy in the little blue blazer go, whoa. 10-day wait.
10 days on that.
Gotta go,
right.
fill out a form. Don't care if you have 5 hammers at home. We don't see that. And so, you got to realize these are all going after just grabbing firearms from, because I tell people all the time, look at any of the bills that did make it through this year. Would 11% excise tax stopped any of the crimes? No.
No.
Nobody ever seems to take a look at that, do they?
Changing a barrel? No. Stopping Glocks? No. None of these things would have stopped it. So this minority report legislation, if we're going to pass a law that stops some harm in the future, people do not accept that, and this is where you go back to the politicians and say you're fired.
Man, and that's such a huge point, that they're fighting a straw man practically. These are all straw man battles. That this is the problem, but it's not keeping him out of criminals' hands. It's not crimes lowering because of
it's already
these
against the law to kill people.
Absolutely.
And you got to look at the definitions. I mean, the one way when we look at Duncan v. Bonta, it's all over magazines. So the question I'd ask you guys, not you guys always asking me questions. So what firearms company came up with the what do we want to call high capacity magazine? Oh wait, nobody.
Yeah.
And that was completely manufactured by Bloomberg. It's called a standard capacity magazine. Period. Nobody in our community should ever use any other term.
Never cede the narrative.
Right.
To the opposition.
And that's a huge thing that we're touching on a lot, is that they're renaming, misnaming all these things. Like the hammer point, are there different definitions for this hammer that doesn't? Are they calling it now a blunt force nail driver? No. Right. They're creating these terms to make it, to villainize these items, these tools.
The item and not the individual.
Right.
Yeah, and I think it's a huge thing, and you were just speaking on the point of making some of these terms concrete. But we have to start exactly like you were saying. Our community needs to stop using their terminology to define what we're using. And we need to
talk about it. I mean, you got to normalize it. Why is it that you can walk in a room, who here knows martial arts, and everybody's bragging, but you say, who has a firearm? And it's that deathly silence.
Yes.
Nobody wants to say anything. And, one of the worst states for firearms, but I love their commercial, is Massachusetts. And some of my brothers and sisters that do the same work, they came out with this video, and one of the things I loved about their video, they said, people in Massachusetts that own firearms, they're your soccer coach, they're your postman, they're your dentist. They normalized it.
Yes.
They said, these are normal people. They're not weird people. They're not Elmer Fudd on amphetamines. That's not who it is.
They're your wedding planner. Shout out to my cousin Charlie.
Yeah. and that's what we need to be conveying and pushing out there. Looking at these are normal kids that do really well. And to your point earlier, because I know you love history, Mark, what do you think the average age of a kid who was actually taking during the colonial times a firearm out in the woods without a parent was?
I would guess probably about the time you're a young man, sometime between 10 and 13.
Nope. Jimmy?
I'm going to say between the ages of 7 and 8.
You're very close. It was 5.
Whoa. See?
And that was normal way past the Civil War. And there's a great book called The American Rifle that they go through that. And that was normal. So now we sit there and we've got people going, oh my gosh, what's bad things going to happen? And I remember going to a high school here in LA, met the principal who came up in the high school, and he said, I want to show you something. We went out to the football field, and there were still the holes next to the football field where they used to put the target stands. And he talked all the way up into the early 80s. People used to ride on buses in LA Unified with 22 rifles and ammo. Nobody ever got hurt.
Nope.
There were no suicides, no violence. People shot. They practiced. And we also have like Long Beach Millikan. It's also in the LA school district. They have a team of people with air rifles. They come in. Do not allow this narrative that that's the end of the world. And what's funny is the gangs and everybody back off of those kids.
Yes.
So, how is this a bad thing again?
A society of armed, law-abiding citizens brings fear into those that are not, because we stand because there's inter turmoil, gang fighting going on there, but a strong community willing to protect one another speaks volumes.
And the thing about, I'm so proud of our organization. We fought really hard to kill 2571, which was the bill that went through that took away our right to communicate with youth. And if you look at it, I'm saying this to all the parents out there, if you have a young child at home, before you consider baseball, football, I love all those sports, nothing against them. But when you look at how much money you put in the sport to try to help your kid be able to go to a college or university, it's a lot of money. Yet there are so many scholarships at places from Harvard to Yale to Berkeley, if you, for whatever reasons you want to send your kid there, to all these other universities across the country, SECs, full ride scholarships.
Yeah.
Put them in
opportunities for our youth, folks.
Talk about a boy about that today. I was going to say, in my family, we did not handle a firearm till we were 10. Okay? We didn't get a bicycle till we were 8. Old school cool.
All right, so we're going to be coming back from a little bit longer break. We're going to get into phone calls, and then I'm going to have Rick go into some of the other stuff we're working on. He has some great things for all the communities, especially one very important one we have coming out. Go ahead and keep calling, folks. Don't want to bunch everyone up at the end of the hour. So 866-870-5752. You are listening to the Gunslinger Syndicated Radio Network.
Are we getting any feedback?
Excuse me? We're getting all kind of feedback. Definitely different feedback about different things. Still, Mark wants to know more about the red flag laws.
Oh, yes.
If you want to run that one right now. And a lot of feedback to the conversation.
So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to jump in with Sean real fast. When we come back, we'll go into yours. If you want to go into wave, or if you want to go into about if we have time to do both wave and red flags.
Yeah.
And then if we have enough time, because at the end, Mike does go a bit long, so we'll try to keep him toward the end of that segment. So if we have to, we can just.
Okay.
But this is a bit of a longer break, so we got some time. Hey, thank you guys for all chiming in so much, and thank you to the guys in the booth. They are putting up all the stuff for
on it
for Mr. Bowie. for the CRPA. All that information up. Thank you, boys in the booth. Got Ryan over there. Got a new friend on this side. I don't know where he's at. But thank you guys all in the comments. You guys are running it. Love it.
You determine when it's a call-in show. You guys determine how good this show is going to be. We kind of act as moderators. You guys can be as entertaining or not as you want. We have a pretty entertaining crew, though.
We surely do. Running pretty fast?
Uh-huh.
Hey, Jake Reno. Thanks for stopping in, brother. Glad you made it in.
Who else we got on?
Melissa, always great having you in. You're doing so much on there. Doug, always great seeing you, brother. Can't wait to see you again. Kirk, all over there. You're still putting up. Mr. Enigma, even though you're in Texas, I'm glad you're always still with us, brother.
Staying up late for us. We appreciate the heck out of that. Want to know if anybody was at Bordertown, what your thoughts were on the fastest shooting match in the world. We got winners.
Oh.
We got winners.
Hey, and everyone on there, make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you're already subscribed. Everything's been going up lately, so make sure you're doing all the things, lighting up all those little buttons and switches. Really appreciate it. It helps us get out to everyone else.
Ricky from Ohio saying, hey, Jeff, it's good to hear you tonight.
Hey, thank you, Ricky. Thanks for always staying up with us. I know you're going to probably be tucking in soon, but thanks for being here with us and for us. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Rick Travis taught me years ago when I met him that it starts at parks, schools, city councils, etc. Everyone has to be diligent on what's going on in their communities.
All politics is local politics.
Yep. Yeah, and it absolutely starts at home, getting your house in order and then moving from there.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, fun question. Was it Michigan that started the red flag law for trans individuals?
There's a lot of evidence to say that mental...
You have to answer that question on the 4473, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to choose one, and you
They're
can't
adding
lie.
more questions to it now, too.
Oh, we are.
Here we go. Oh, yeah, I love that.
Ladies and gentlemen, because we have so much going on tonight, want to jump right back into the Gunslinger syndicated radio network. I'm going to jump into a call, and then we're going to get back to Rick, and then we'll go back into some calls. So you guys keep in. That's 866-870-5752. I see I got Kathy back. She had a question for Rick, too. But Sean, over in Covina, how are you doing tonight, brother?
I'm doing good, and greetings to the four amigos, the 2-8. I include you, Rick,
thank you.
the posse.
Oh, yeah. The fourth man's in the house tonight.
God bless you, Jeff, brother. And I got some duct tape and a Barca lounger, so I'll drive over down to Norfolk, a little soundtrack of that 70s song, Take It Easy.
Hey.
The steady diet of Andy Griffith Show.
Yeah. So what's going on tonight, Sean? How can we help you?
Well, I might like to talk about the Browning High part, but first I'd like to thank the CRT for keeping me out of jail and prison since 1989.
Love to hear
good.
it.
You want to explain that date real quickly for people that might not know?
The so-called blank weapons ban, which weren't assault rifles.
Yep.
And because of them, I was able to register them, and then also in 2002, I was able to register them and not have to worry about being a Canadian.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
Look at that. Power in action.
Yeah. So thanks to all those people in the CSP and CRP. Okay. Anyway, I'd like to talk about fun with guns, put a little fun in there.
Yeah.
Now, I know, Professor, you mentioned that you love the Browning High Power. And as
ergonomics, wonderful.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was saying to myself, that is a great gun because, besides being a web biter and its magazine, what is it called, 15? No,
13.
14? No, 13?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's less than the Beretta, isn't it?
Yes, it is. But remember, it also came out 40 years earlier than the Beretta.
And you trust the safety. You keep it chamber loaded?
The safety works perfectly. However, that was not designed. The safety is not designed the same way that the 1911 is. Remember the high power was supposed to be the 1911 perfected, and there are a couple little warts on this. There's no question about that. It needs a bigger. It needs something to protect you from that hammer, the spur hammer versus the ring hammer, a larger tab on the frame to save your hand from that. Typically better sights. And talk to me about that safety, because that safety is pretty tiny and pretty vestigial unless you get one of the ambidextrous later models. And the magazines don't drop free.
Nope.
I know I'm poking fun at you because you picked on the Beretta, but I do like the Browning High Power like you, but I just want to poke a little fun at you, Professor, as you always like to play the devil's advocate.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I do like you.
By the way, I like the Beretta 92 as well. Just so you know, it's just the safety's in the wrong place.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
And since Rick is here, why don't we get a little fun with guns with you, Rick? You have just think of three of your favorite guns that just come to mind. Just any three.
Sounds good for this.
Tell me why you.
I love my Tikka T3 Light and 6.5 Creedmoor. It's my favorite rifle to take hunting with me. I, of course, love my... a lot of people think I should love my Golden Boy 22, but I actually have a takedown Ruger 1022 that I love to circulate up in the mountains. And then I'm a big 1911 guy. In fact...
I knew I liked you for another reason.
Yeah. In fact, the guy sitting here helped me get a really nice Colt to add to my collection. So, yeah.
Cool. Look at that. There you go, Sean.
That's the three strong entries, man.
One more question, Rick. Do you like shooting 9mm out of it or 45?
45.
Okay, you're a standard man then.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Sean. We have a lot of calls to get with. We have Rick he still has a lot to get through too. But thank you and God bless you. Always appreciate your calls, sir.
Always good calls, Sean.
Thanks so much. All right, Rick, let's jump into some more of the U.S. We have calls here, but we have a lot to say.
So, thank you for setting it up. We've been doing a lot of things with Gen Z, especially in the wake of Charlie Kirk passing. That is incredible. One of the things I think everybody needs to realize, we were doing that for almost a year prior to that happening. And one of the challenges we're having is we don't have enough range space.
No.
Looking at the early results of this program, probably looking at trying to introduce 40,000 people between the ages of 18 and 22 to firearms for the first time. And as you two both know, we don't have the range space to accommodate that with
many.
everything else in California. So, and that's a fluctuating group because there's ones exiting as ones come in. So that is becoming a good challenge to have. Yeah. Along with that, good challenge is, as we all know, the majority of people that are buying firearms right now are females, which I love. And I personally, as an instructor, think that women are so much easier to train.
They don't have the expert syndrome, do they? They're willing to listen. It makes a difference.
And what I'm trying to do is, when I was talking about going up to the Capitol, we have a new program at CRPA for those of you women who are in a women's group within the Second Amendment community. This is not designed to supplant that at all. What it's designed to do is, we specialize on how to fight for your rights, and I need women in the Capitol working with me to fight for their rights. And so the program's called WAVE. It stands for Women Armed to Vote and Educate, and we are trying to, we've sent out messages to over 8,000 women in California. We're trying to grow that list, and we're trying to get a rally, but on January 14th, we intend to go into a Capitol Day with all women to help fight to get our bills out and to stop bad bills, because I don't want to ever sit at a dais again and hear some of the legislators say, well, we never hear from women.
Well,
so we are training women, all the talking points, how to teach. I'll be with some of those women when we go into the Capitol, but I'm not doing the talking. They're doing the talking. They're going to tell their story. We're just going to equip them for the fight. And this is time to get women together, and it's a really cool logo. I'll talk a little bit about the logo. It's a bear on a surfboard, and part of the reason is Gavin Newsom hates Huntington Beach, and we started it there, and it's designed so that when you go into Capitol, it doesn't look like a gun thing. So the left is going to invite you in because it's this cute bear on a surfboard, and he'll come in like a wave and then tell them what's up.
Look at that. And
we are a truculent bunch, aren't we?
And that's a huge thing, because that's what this community is. It's so diverse. We have it, again, like I said, male, female, every shade and all that. And the women have such a powerful voice, and we need you ladies.
And we have young women. We have, I think the oldest person so far signed up is like 80, and the youngest one is 12. And this will be her second Capitol Day she's went to. And she's very articulate.
What a great cross-section of feminine humanity.
And that's on the CRPA website already,
correct.
Right?
Yep.
So CRPA,
and we're taking sign-up, so...
CRPA.org, folks. You'll see it on the banner. It's WAVE, W-A-V-E, just how it sounds. Women armed to vote and educate. And what a wonderful, wonderful thing. You work with the youth. You work with both the female community and your all the gun guys out here
all
already.
The guys. Yeah.
So we love to hear it. That's not. We can't thank you enough for all you do for this entire community. This is huge. But we have another special guest caller I want to jump into on line 2. Mr. Leon Kaplan.
Oh,
wow.
Evening, Mr. Motorslinger himself, the Motorman, Leon Kaplan. Hey, Leon.
Good afternoon, guys. You guys are just doing a great, great job. Mark and Jimmy, everybody's just doing, because, and I'm a little jealous. As I was listening to the show, and then Jeff calls in. He's had major surgery, and I've got a bad cold with a cough, and he's got better off than I am. he just heals up so quick. I'm just, I don't know what he's drinking or what, but boy, he's doing a good job, and I'm real proud of him.
Well, so are we. How are you feeling?
Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty good now. I'm getting over this cold and cough, and so it's just been dragging on for a while, but evidently I'm doing okay, and I just came up and thought maybe next week, if I feel like it, let's do a Motorslinger, Gunslinger, everything kind of show, whatever it is.
Oh, those.
We're hoping you come in, man.
One of my favorite shows to have you in Georgia, and you guys always keep it lively. We always get a ton of calls. Yeah, we're praying for your health, and hopefully by the middle of this week we can get good word from you, and then we can knock that in.
Well, I'll make sure that I'm better. I'll start drinking some good stuff or something.
Well, me Irish grandma would say, what you need is a little cup of tea with something good in it.
And a wee bit of lemon.
That's right.
I don't think she meant the lemon.
But I'm real proud of Jeff. He's doing an outstanding job, and you guys are just doing a great job doing the show. And so I really appreciate all of you.
Well, we appreciate you so much.
And all the listeners as well. You got great listeners, and it's just marvelous. And I'd like to be there next week, if possible, to share some of those listeners with you guys.
Oh, we can't. They are jumping all over the comments already. They can't wait to hear from you too, Leon.
So you take care of yourself.
Yeah,
you take care of yourself.
I'll
man,
get ready.
We appreciate you calling in.
Work. I'll talk to you guys soon. God bless.
God bless you, sir. Always good having you on. Oh, you know what? And real quick, since we have a little bit of time before we get out of this segment, Mike from El Segundo. Mike, what is going on tonight, sir?
Hi, gentlemen. First, I'm going to outrage all these lefty lunatics, radicalized Democrats, by saying that my thoughts and prayers go out to Jeff Tavener for a total, full, complete recovery from his heart surgery, and also to Leon Kaplan for his illness. And you know how they hate thoughts and prayers, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Because they hate God. And Rick Travis, hi. It's a real pleasure and honor to speak with you. I actually joined the CRPA back in 1982 when Proposition 15 was put on the ballot in California to ban all new sales of handguns in California. It was like a slow-motion handgun ban. And I served on city council in El Segundo from 1992-96. I believe it was either during that time or a little bit after that. I had an opinion column that I wrote, published in the Daily Breeze newspaper in Torrance, California, and the subject was that gun control increases violent crime. I gave a bunch of examples of that, and then the CRPA firing line had picked that up. I didn't even know about that, but later, when I got my issue, I saw that they had reprinted that, and I thought that was just really wonderful. And the reason I bring this up, though, is that it's really important that we always use the most effective arguments possible for arguing in support of Second Amendment and self-defense rights. And unfortunately, the NRA never caught on that. Back in 1994, I had a personal meeting with Wayne LaPierre and Tanya Matoxka back then, and I explained they cannot keep arguing that gun laws don't help, they're just feel-good laws, that does not get a majority side, but the argument that gets a majority on our side is that gun control increases violent crime and never reduces crime, endangers everyone, including those who choose not to own firearms. And we actually tested that back in 1994 in a statewide survey in Hawaii that was paid for by the Hawaii Rifle Association. And even in the very liberal left-wing state of Hawaii, we actually got a majority, a small majority, to oppose gun control if, in fact, the most complete and accurate scientific evidence shows that gun control increases violent crime. If you argue it has no effect on crime, we had a majority supporting more gun control laws. So that's a really powerful argument to use. Another argument I've added since then is that the reason politicians today are promoting gun control it has nothing to do with crime at all, because again, gun control increases violent crime. The real reason is that a widespread armed civilian population is the single biggest obstacle or stumbling block to achieving a totalitarian Marxist dictatorship.
Absolutely.
Where the government has accumulated total unlimited power, which in fact is what the Democrat Party has been trying to do now for a long time.
Yeah.
So gun control has nothing to do with crime or criminals other than making ordinary nonviolent, law-abiding citizens who own firearms into criminals.
Yeah, we touched on that earlier, Mike. Yeah, absolutely. You're
right. It's genocidal. Gun control is genocidal. It was genocidal to Jews in Nazi Germany. Hitler used gun control laws to disarm the Jews during Kristallnacht on the night of the broken glass in preparation for the Holocaust. And same around the world. Yeah. And the most genocidal ideology and form of government or dictatorship in history has been Marxist government. Socialist as in Nazi Germany, communist as in the Soviet Union, China, Mao Zedong mass murdered between 70 million and 100 million innocent Chinese civilians, his own people.
Mike, I hate to cut you off. I know. Absolutely do. The music's on the wall right now. We've got to get to our commercial break.
But I'd like to see CRPA push that theme, gun control increases violent crime.
Absolutely. Stats don't lie. We appreciate you so much again, Mike. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much.
All right, folks, we're going to jump into this break right now. You are listening to the Gunslinger Syndicated Radio Network.
One segment to go.
Here we go.
You know, it's funny. We could do all that.
I know. So we do. Is there anything you want to talk about?
No, I got what I need to. I just want to cover whatever questions.
Okay, we have about 4. I'm gonna get through them.
It's nice to have you in and have enough time for you to be able to expound a little bit, but it's still not enough.
Yeah, I'm going to get to Kathy first because she called earlier. She had a question for you. Then I'm going to get to Brent. And then if the last 2, Oscar and Edward, you have time for, one's in Canyon Country and one's in Riverside. One says auctions, the other one says American Rifle.
And red flag counties.
Oh, shit. I'm trying my best to get through these
Listen,
calls.
I know. Sulu, it's not easy driving the Starship, is it?
That is such a big thing. That's like a segment on its own.
Okay, well, I mean, if
Maybe
we
that's
can
a
direct them
conversation
somewhere,
worth having.
If there's somewhere we can direct them to.
Yeah, I think you can go to our website.
Oh yeah. And that's our shout out to Leon. We just came out on the line a little bit ago. So if you guys want to hear that honey of the South, Leon, hopefully he'll be in next week. But you can just rewind this stream and you can hear him a little bit there. But since this is our last segment of Gunslinger Syndicated Radio Network, we want to jump right into the calls. Kathy over in La Habra, what is going on? You have a question for Rick?
Yes. First of all, I want to say Jeff sounded great. Maybe he should listen to that gentleman that called in and not get ahead of himself, because we do want him back.
Absolutely.
And hats off to Rick for navigating that Sacramento mess up there. I was wondering if he could explain about the remodel, what exactly was done. And I just feel that most people don't even know that remodel has gone on, and it's my understanding it was like $500 million budget like in 2018, and it's now in excess, running at $1.3 billion and expected to go to $1.6 billion. And there's secret rooms and
tunnels, yes.
So they don't have to interact with the public.
All right, yeah, Kathy, I'm gonna have Rick address that right now. I'm gonna let you go so we can get to the next caller after that, because we're trying to squeeze. No, we appreciate it. Thanks for
light
the call.
in a dark place, man.
Yeah, so all the buildings up in Sacramento that they've been using, both the temporary and the new building, have had secret hallways. They're able to avoid people. Back in the day when I had first worked up there, staff and members could be caught by the public on the steps. They now have private driveways, private exit points, and so they don't. And that's why when I use the different methods to get people to call in, those have been designed specifically to put pressure on. Mm-hmm. But all the standard things that many of us grew up with for the past couple of generations are no longer in play because they've made sure of it.
They've lost sight of the fact that they work for us.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
completely.
They do these no kings protests, but they act like they are
right.
grander, right?
Or the hilarity is they have all these secret passages, and they go out and get on one of those public rent-a-scooters and try to have contests to see who can go fastest down the Capitol Mall area.
Come on. More waste and nothing being done. Thank you so much, Kathy. You have a good night, and thank you for listening. Thanks for your call.
I love you guys. Bye-bye.
Love you too. All right. You know what? I want to jump over. Since I cut Brent off last week, Brent, how are you doing, brother? Shalom to you.
Hey, Brent.
Shalom, you joyful, magnificent gunslinger.
Hey, there we go.
You know, Jimmy, Mark, and Rick, it's a blessing speaking with all you great gunslingers on this happy night.
Thank you,
but
sir.
What's the deal with our big, beautiful gunslinging Jeff? You began the show solemnly with prayer, barely giving a smidgen of intel to help us scope in on our prayer needs. Fully packed blunderbuss prayers, 22 single-shot prayers, or full auto 50 caliber prayers. Then Jeff calls in yelling orders and kicking butt like John Wayne. But did Leon Kaplan have the cardiologist drop a turbocharger into his chest?
They had that hood open, so hopefully they did.
Right. And love you, Jeff. Listen to your doctors, but don't leave the hospital with a walker or a wheelchair. Go out on horseback, brother.
That would be his style.
Absolutely. Gonna turbocharge that wheelabout that he gets, huh?
Right.
No, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, way to keep it topical, by the way. Nice segue work there.
You're the best.
Good job, Brent.
You're the best, Brent. But yeah,
love you guys.
No, we love you so much, and thank you. And Jeff is still listening, so he hears your kind words, and we appreciate all the prayers out there. You guys pray as much or as often as you can, because prayer works, and we all believe in it. So thank you so much.
Will do.
All right, Brent. You have a great night. Shalom to you, friend, and we'll talk to you next week.
Blessings all.
Yeah, all right. Still got about 3 calls to go. So Oscar over in Canyon. What's going on, friend?
Hey, guys. How's it going? And hope Jeff gets better soon. That way we can get out there and get the auction and the show going. We want to keep you guys around for a long time on the air.
Well, absolutely. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Yeah, and Rick, at the last auction, one gentleman was mentioning possibly that the CRPA location might relocate from Fullerton out to maybe like Simi Valley or somewhere in Ventura County.
No. No, we're actually going to be right off of Dyer and the 55, closer to the Orange County Airport, and that actually happens this next month. We're moving to a better location. And we've had some really great donors, and we're hoping to be able to purchase the building to help make us safer from being just moved out, because we've had some people try to influence where our headquarters could be by trying to use economics to force us out of business. And so this is a defensive measure.
As usual, California at work.
Yep.
Right.
Also, really quick, I know you got maybe some more people, but with the restrictions they keep on doing with CCWs as far as we can have them, I just look at it as their way of the government just doing having more sacrificial lambs to take away our gun rights to protect ourselves.
Well, on CCWs, we're fighting back. If people don't realize this, we have been in a protracted legal war with LA County that has now involved the federal government. And we've had several other counties that, because of CRPA's pressure on the CCW Reckoning Project, is what we call it statewide, we are peeling this back, and there are several bills I can't talk about at this stage, but I will be here in a couple of months, that are designed, as long as we get the people in our community to be boisterous, we get these women in the WAVE program up there, I think you're going to see some really nice changes in a very positive way towards the CCWs.
I'd love to hear it.
That's because they have been dragging their heels on issuing them.
Yeah, cool. Thank you, and keep up the fight.
God bless you, Oscar. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Have a good evening.
You too. All right, let's jump over to Edward over in Riverside. Hey, Ed, good to hear from you, friend.
Down to the wire.
Thank you. God bless you all. It's good to hear you all. I was especially glad to hear Rick and Leon. And do I understand from what Leon said that we will have a Motor Slinger show next week?
God willing.
If he's well enough.
Yep, we're just waiting to make sure that his health is well enough to get back on air with us.
Great. Thank you. Prayers for Jeff, definitely. And also, I never let the day go by without praying for our president and his team.
Amen.
Thank you for that.
And what I wanted to ask, Rick, you mentioned a book called The American Rifle. Do you have the author? That's a title that could be
just a second. Just a second. I'll bring it up for you.
Down?
So I'll bring it up for you if you want.
Here, you know what? He's gonna look for it right now, Ed. I have one more caller to get to before you just keep listening. He'll get it on air. Okay.
Okay.
All right. God bless you, Ed. Great hearing from you, sir.
God bless you.
All right, and
I can do it right now.
Oh, let's do it.
It's called The American Rifle, a biography, and it is by Alexander Rose. And you can still pick it hardcover for about $20 on Amazon.
Sweet. Hope you got that, Ed.
Providing information.
All right, Lynn. Let's get to Lynn. Our final call of the night wants to say hello to Rick. Hello, Lynn. What's going on?
Oh, hey, Jimmy, Mark, Rick. How are you guys doing? I love you all. And Jeff, love you and always praying for you.
Amen.
And I'm sure you're going to be totally fine. And I, Kathy, he's going to be fine. Okay, Rick, I listened to the firing line on Saturday, and I love it. Great show. Awesome. And I'm always wondering, how come you guys don't advertise it for people to listen on 590?
All right, Lynn, we'll go ahead and get to that.
I'd
love you. We're going to have him speak on that, and we're going to be creeping out a show. So go ahead and put all the info out there before we get on.
It's I almost said your show. It's a Firing Line Radio. It airs at 1 o'clock on KTIE 590, and then it also goes to podcasts. We're on Apple, Rumble, and a couple of the others. So please check it out. And we try to cover things in a little bit more in depth. We don't get to have as much fun as you guys do here, but we try to cover it in depth and make sure people can get the information.
Well, thank you again, Mr. Rick Travis from the CRPA. We love you guys. Thank you guys for listening. Everyone, God bless you and have a great week.